Can we call this Saturday Night Live? I don't think we can.
I know, I missed all the excitement of last night.
Our little wonder chicken over there, our autistic wonder, was just having a bad night last night.
She made it a little bit challenging, so didn't want to chance it.
Yeah, we have to be a little careful. Oh, you want to put that? You can't see your face. Hold on. Oh, you can't click on it.
Oh.
Okay, you can't take the window off.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
At least we can kind of see.
It's Saturday Night Live. Not really. It's Friday Night Live on Saturday. That's what's going on. Oh, you had the commercial?
I did.
Yeah, she has my son had an iPad from 10 years ago, longer, and he said, "Dad, I'm not using it anymore. Do you want it?" And it's really old, but it still does the trick for us. So Shannon doesn't have to look on here for the comments. She can look down here.
Makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah. So thank you, anyone. And listen, if you want to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can support our channel. For most of high school, oh man.
Hi, Melody R.
Hey, Mel. She's
Thanks for being the first one on. You are a rock star.
This is Melody.
Tuning in.
Kung Fu
Ninja.
She's a rock history music ninja. Good
Nice
for
to have you along.
Thank you. Dun, 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 dun. Is this my actual copy? Hold on. Yes, it's my actual copy. This is the actual copy I had throughout high school. Like it's the one that I played. Elton John, Captain Fantastic, and Around Your Cowboy. For years I said it wrong. Not since I've been a broadcaster, because you can't get away with that stuff. But there's Dee Murray, Elton, of course, Nigel Olsson is drummer, Ray Cooper, percussionist, Davey Johnston, John Stone that I just interviewed. Great guy. Remember the inserts? Oh, God, what do I have in here? Oh, yeah, I have the original inserts.
Ooh, you kept it all.
That came with it. I don't think I have the poster, though.
Ben Molnar says, "Hi, guys. John Adams, hi from Connecticut. Hope all is well." The Saline 786, Doobie Brothers, #1 fan.
Hey.
Dave Rains, hey from Michigan.
Hi.
And Chris Bergman III. Hey, hi, Chris. Nice to have
Hi,
you.
everybody. Thanks for joining us. It's nice to be on live. I don't do the Today in History live anymore. I tape it because to do it live, I just have to put all these in this software, which is Ecamm that we use. Basically, I have to put all the pictures up. That's why when I'm doing it live, I'm pressing all these buttons and I'm trying to coordinate. And I did it live because I missed the days of being on the radio live. I'm on the radio 5 nights a week in Vancouver and have worked for that company since 1990. I'm lucky. It's rare in radio to have the same job for that long. And while I was doing that job, they actually let me go become a program director for another radio station as well as do that in a separate city. It would never happen today. So anyway, your top 3 albums in high school, and what are your top 3 albums now looking back? I'm not saying your top 3 albums from today. I'm curious because a lot of the times our top 3 albums will change. Mine certainly has since high school, even though Captain Fantastic and the Brown Deer Cowboy is still one of my all-time favorite albums. I would say, I don't know, that, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Don't Shoot Me, Blue Moves, and Rock of the Westies are my favorite.
Mutant Riot. My high school senior yearbook was done around Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Ah, cool.
Chris Bergman III said Elton's the best. Matt Syverson, The Paperback Rocker, Fair Warning, 1984, and 5150.
Yeah, that's a big album. I had the one after that, OU812 from Van Halen. And someone was just mentioning the other day that one album that disappointed them was OU812. And I just love that album so much. But if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you love it, you love it. You can't help what you don't like. It either moves you, jiggles you inside, or it doesn't. What was that?
Kevin J. Stoll, Boston's First. Peter Frampton Comes Alive, ELO's Out of the Blue. But I have so many more.
One of my favorite albums in high school. Bar none. I mean, I painted this on my wall. We were going to pick up my wall. I have this, for any of you who didn't see it, I have an entire, maybe the size of this wall here.
Where were you thinking of putting it? Like which wall? Where was
behind Chase, I think, behind his drums, and doing it as a temporary thing. But it has to be temporary.
That'd look good.
Because no one
And do you think you'll actually complete it? Finish it off?
I might. In the 80s, my favorite album was Small Creeps Say by Mike Rutherford and Toto the 7th one for the 80s, and of course Toto 4. In the 70s, another one of my favorite albums. I would have said these two and Captain Fantastic. Back then would have been my favorite albums. But you know, when you're in high school, you have yet to hear all the, like I said the other day, when you're in high school, you have a limited budget. Even if you have a job, you're a limited budget. And by the time you get to high school, you're dating. So even if you're making more money, you don't spend it all on albums if you're dating because you've got to, you know, back then you paid for everything. And so, you know, you didn't have enough money. Then you get in your 20s and then you have a little bit more money, but then mortgages and wives come in or husbands and mortgages. So there's always something standing in your way of being able to buy all the music that you want to buy. Now we have Spotify. It's a little different, or Apple, or whatever you stream to.
I'm going to catch up a little bit here.
Okay.
Chris Bergman, the third, top 3 in high school. Rush, Moving Pictures, Billy Squier, Don't Say No, and Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Oh, see, I just love this information. I'm always really curious of going, okay, what's, like, I didn't want to do the top 10 because it's too much and it makes people think too much. Top 3 sometimes a little easier, but thank you for that. And but remember, when I'm asking for the top 3 now is looking back at the whole thing, right? Not just your top 3 from like last year. I'd rather not have that because it's a classic rock, you know.
Mutant, Rush, 2112, post
Oh,
high
2112.
21 high.
You're
post
showing
high
your
school.
age.
Thank you. John Adams, Pink Floyd. The Paradise Theater.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Melody says Boston.
Oh, Ziggy Stardust? Sticky Fingers?
Trajan.
Oh, no, I'm on the wrong one.
Yeah, Trajan 69. Who's next? Sticky Fingers, Ziggy Stardust, Avalon Dreaming, Journey, Infinity.
Oh, yeah. Journey in the 80s, man. Escape to me was the pinnacle. Loved it.
Hike with Mike, top 3 high school albums: Journey's Escape, Def Leppard, Photograph, Motley Crue, Too Fast for Love.
Yeah. It's interesting people's pockets sometimes. Like I said last night in a live broadcast, sometimes people will buy Elton John's Leather Jackets first, and I'm not a fan of that album, but I still listen to it. I like it more now than I ever liked it. But it's still one of his more inferior works. And if you start by listening to Elton John, oh yeah, maybe you can set it up like that.
I'm trying.
Or else just put it here.
I think it might work right here.
Oh, if I move this thing, it's just going to go flying.
Don't move.
But if you get to know a certain artist at their worst album and you like it, it doesn't mean you'll like the good stuff. Chances are you will, because good, you know, the cream rises. But I remember this guy who wrote a thing on one of the Elton John pages that he really liked Leather Jackets. I'm going, and then he mentioned it was his first album. I'm going, well, I guess. I just hope that he went back and realized that the other stuff was better. But maybe that's his interpretation of Elton John, right? So.
Sweet Savage, Zep 1, Pink Floyd, Animals, UFO Live.
Oh, cool.
James Taylor, Kiss Alive, Ted Nugent, and Foghat, Fool for the City.
The Nuge was, I remember all my friends, you know, obviously singing Cat Scratch Fever. And he was really popular in my circle. And he never did anything for me, but I liked his music. I just never bought his stuff, but I did like it. I appreciated it. I like the fact that he was just a no hands, just get the heck out of my way. I'm a rocker. I'm going to do this stuff.
And Elusive Butterfly, Abbey Road, Madman Across the Water, and Pyromania.
Madman was one of my favorite albums in the 70s. And I always say I have 3 favorite albums. It's total the 7th one, Madman Across the Water, and Small Creeps Day by Mike Rutherford, Genesis guitarist, first solo album.
Randy Scheifer, 1977 Eagles Hotel.
California?
Yep. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and America Live.
Oh, cool. I remember when America Live came out, they at one point called it something like We Have to Pay the Bills Tour. They had a nickname for that America tour after Dan Peek left. Because that America Live album was the first one. It was the official first album without Dan Peek. Yeah, interesting.
The Saline, 786, Captain and Me, D-Bruz, Band on the Run, Wings, McCartney, Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic, Runner-Up, Billy Paul, Me, and Mrs. Jones.
You have great taste in music.
Nice.
Man. Remember Alfie Zappacosta did a version of Me and Mrs. Jones?
So good.
Canadian singer. Look up Alfie Zappacosta.
Super talented.
This guy is like an anomaly in Canadian music. He should be bigger. But all his albums, it's Zappa, Z-A-P-P-A, Costa, C-O-S-T-A. Look up Alfie Zappacosta. The guy slept at our house one night.
Super nice.
He got screwed in a hotel. He said, well, I'm going to have to find another place to live because he had a concert that night. I was introducing him on stage. And I said, Alfie, sleep at our house. We'll party. And we did. It was fun. Him and his manager.
Kevin Campion, Chicago 2, Joel's The Stranger, and The Who's
Oh, Billy
Tommy.
Joel. Yeah.
And The Who's Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy's a great album. Great concept album, that's for sure.
Melody are Boston, Guess Who, and Rush.
Good choices.
Snowman, Journey Escape, Kiss Alive, and Rush Exit Stage Left.
Yeah, I had All the World's a Stage, the one before that, the live album, the triple live album. And I just fell in love with that album. I've got to listen to that again. I don't have it on LP anymore. When I sold all my LPs, unfortunately, I sold that. And maybe 3 from the 80s. Caress of Steel. No, I didn't have Caress of Steel. I had it in cassette or something. And Fly By Night.
Ben Molnar, Chilliwack, Dreams, Genesis, Wind and
Wuthering, yeah.
Jean-Luc Ponty and Enigmatic Ocean.
Enigmatic Ocean, yeah. Jean-Luc Ponty was, he played on, I remember first hearing his name because he played on Honky Chateau by Elton John. And he was in the back. I turned around and said, what? He's got a new band member? And he just decided to put him in. And that was recorded in France, that album. And so after that, you start paying attention. If you're a real homer, I was a real homer for Elton John, you start paying attention and going, who is this guy? You start asking questions. And you end up talking to people who know way more about music than you do, the people who are into Jean-Luc Ponty's music.
Thomas Rudy, going for the one in Relayer. Yes, Animals, and Pink Floyd.
Yeah, a big Yes fan.
Hey, Fraser J, thanks for joining us. He's asking totally off topic, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, of course.
But hope Danica's okay. Danica is good. Yesterday she was just in a little bit of a mood. So she's she's faring really well today. So thank you for asking.
Roger Dean, speaking of Yes, I'm interviewing him on Monday about his long career. If you go into the community, or if you're a member of the Rock History Music Facebook page, just look it up. Don't leave your answers here because there's way too many that I have to go through. But if you have any questions, not answers, questions for Roger Dean, go on our Facebook page, or else in the community section of Rock History Music here on YouTube, you can put a question there. There's a big picture of Roger Dean.
Lucha Libertaro.
Where did they come up with these?
I was really big into Metallica's and Justice for All, Halloween, Keeper of the Seven Keys, Metal Church, Blessing in Disguise.
I have a lot more heavy metal or heavy rock people on here than I thought. We have to take that off. We're on live. I can't talk to you. We're on live. I can't talk to you.
Okay.
Bye.
Sorry.
It's my brother. He's at Kim Mitchell at the Rock Fest in Miramichi. So he was just letting me know about Kim Mitchell. Oh, 9, he must have just come on.
Timothy Wills, Billy Joel, The Stranger, Kansas, Point of No
Return,
Rumors, Fleetwood Mac.
Good choices. Rumors. The 2 albums that came out, not at the same time, but close to, they were competing on the charts. Hotel California and Rumors by Fleetwood Mac.
Four Green Fog, Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Time by Simon and Garfunkel, Aftermath by Rolling Stones, The White Album by the Beatles.
Oh, I love The White Album. Just a hodgepodge of so many different, there was just so many different things. By the way, we were driving today, I heard Ego by Elton John, the single, it was just released as a single. And I used to call that the Frankenstein. Every band's got a Frankenstein song, and sometimes old bands, when they're trying to recreate something, they'll have, Elton John soaring vocals, right? The crazy piano, and I'm going, they had all these little pieces. It was such a Frankenstein song, you think it would have worked, but for me it did. I bought the single, I was very excited about it. But there was just something about, there was not enough heart in it. And sometimes bands do that, where they'll release a last album or a contractual album, and they're just going to do all their riffs and little things, but overall there's just something wrong with it.
Ed Biss, hello my friends, it's great to see you guys.
Hey Ed.
Randy Schiffer, favorite album 2022 is Chuck Leavell.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chuck Goes Big. It's a big band album. Very good.
I should look that up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hike with Mike albums I listen to a lot now are Billy Joel, Songs in the Attic, Rotten Apples, The Best of Smashing Pumpkins, the 1975 A Brief Inquiry into online relationships.
Well, Songs from the Attic is good because you get a chance to listen to a newer versions, live versions of songs from the first few albums, right? Los Angelinos. It was, to me, it really opened me up. And I had some of the older albums, but I didn't listen to them as much until I got Songs in the Attic and I went back and listened to them again. But their versions on the live album I found were better.
I thank you, Fraser J. He says, P.S. You guys are on the wrong sides. Sure, should be on the left. You know, we should be.
What?
It should be where.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
We're on the right side for us, though.
Yeah, but for them, I guess. Can you touch something?
Nope, not touching nothing.
Okay, no, because we might lose
I
you
might
guys.
lose.
Mark Stone, Rush All the World's Stage.
Yes. Love that album.
The Saline 786, I've written more songs than I can count. Thousands of songs that were written down on scraps of paper that over time disappeared in the mists of time. Paul McCartney.
You know what? I've still got all my journals. I've said this before. I've got all my journals going back to 1977.
And they're heavy.
They're all on loose leaf paper.
Super heavy journals.
That's a lot of journals, and they're basically, this is how I should title them: a deep vacuumless hole of emotional need ready to suck the life right out of you. Because when you're in high school, like I was breaking up with Dawn and Sue, who we know now, because both Dawn and Sue are friends of mine, but like they were so important to me when I was in high school, as opposed to how they're important to me now as just friends.
Do you think if you reread them now, you'd actually...
It might be healing, it might be cathartic to go back and go, like, Dawn's one of my best friends, but I wouldn't date her.
Then I went to the store, then I went and picked up a sandwich, and then I went to...
She knows that. That's how I wrote my journal. Okay, got up, and I'd say, overall today was an 8 out of 10, or today was like a licking the floor with pain day. Anyway, we're off topic.
Yes. Ben Molnar, now is Bebop Deluxe live in Arage. Yes, going for the one big train, English Electric, full power.
Yeah, there's I'm getting back into Yes. After the John Anderson interview, I kind of thought, I gotta reacquaint myself with a lot of this music, especially with him. So I've gone back. Love the band.
Snowman, a friend gave me a cassette of Exit Stage Left. I played it so much that the tape broke, and I had to buy 2 tapes. One for my friend and one for me.
I've heard that story, and I'm sure you have too, right? Through the years of going. I remember, and it's so weird, because a lot of my friends thought the band was corny. My friend John Scott had Moonlight Feels Right. And for whatever reason, there was just something about the way Bruce Blackman sang. I'm friends with him on Facebook. We're going to set up an interview. That I just loved, Lash LaRue and all the songs that were on that album. I remember going, I don't know why, I just love this sound so much. And my friends were going, they're just kind of like a pop band. I'm going, I don't know, I really like them. I can't help it. And my friends were good enough that they'd let me like what I liked. They wouldn't try to shame me out of it. But at the same time, they were going, you're a rocker, man. You've turned into a rocker in the last few years.
Tom Jankowski, Eagles' greatest hits, Styx, Grand Illusion, and Carole King.
Tapestry, yeah. The Grand Illusion, listening to that album again, to me, that's their best album. Even Dennis DeYoung told me, he said, we were hitting all cylinders when we were doing that one. He said, that's like classic Styx. And he's very proud of that album.
Dragon Gerald B. I found Abbey Road in the Woods as a kid. Also Kiss Destroyer because of the cover, and Rainbow Long Live Rock and Roll. Love you guys.
Oh, cool. Thanks. You very much.
Bella says, hi, John, Shannon, and friends. Hi, Bella. Chris Ryle, have you ever listened to the debut album?
By who?
I think I follow.
Where is it? I don't know. Which album, though? Which band?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Sometimes there's talking amongst themselves, and I'm trying to kind of... Okay. Mark Burchette. Hey, folks.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Mark's a big supporter.
Greg E. 1 Boston, and then just Boston. And then number 2, Kansas, Left Overture.
Left Overture is such a great album. You got, Oops, I knew it was going to happen.
Young lady. Everything goes flying
Love Boston
on here.
1. Look at Barry Goudreau. He looks just like a student. Huh? Jeez. Brad Delp. God, Brad. Wish he was still with us. And I'd love to be able to interview. But in '79, this was my favorite album. '79. While I was it's my favorite album. '79. I was going to go In Through the Outdoor, Long Run, The Wall. There was a lot of albums that came out after I graduated that year, but this is my favorite album. '79.
Helen says, Tattoo You, Rolling Stones, Judas Priest, British Steel, Neil Young, Freedom.
It's strange how, sometimes our circumstances will change. Oh my God. Will change how we listen to music. In the 80s, my first radio station was a AC, adult contemporary station. So we played a lot of the LA sound stations, David Roberts and a lot of Toto. We were playing this album a lot. And a little bit from Toto 1, nothing from 2 and 3. Kirnbach or Hydra.
TDSM 19, Cheap Trick live at
Budokan.
You Betcha. REO, the Tuna Fish album, 38 special, Wild Eyed Southern Boys.
Oh, cool. This gives me a sort of an inkling and sort of a look into what is important to you, because folks have a tendency to want to know about the music. I don't have ulterior motives till I just realize, hey, wait a minute.
And Melody R. Now I listen to Autoslave, Guess Who, and Jeff Healey.
Oh, Autoslave, yeah.
Greg E. Number 3, Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic.
I was just reading a thing on, love Cat Fantastic. I was just reading a thing on Toys in the Attic today. My first Aerosmith album was Rocks. And so all my friends had Toys in the Attic. And after that, I had Draw the Line, which was the follow-up. And then, Night in the Ruts, my roommate had that. Kendall had that album. That's around the time where things started falling apart completely for the band.
Randy Schaefer, Chuck Leavell, as you know, is the keyboardist for Allman Brothers and currently with Rolling Stones.
Oh, cool.
Okay, Chip Ryle, sorry, typo. Debut album from Robert Fleshman, Perfect Stranger. 1978-89 era, fantastic. Right after he left his short stint with Journey.
Oh, cool. Not familiar. No, can't say that.
Dyslexic, Alan Parsons' Pyramid, Dark Side of the Moon, Ziggy Stardust, and the Spiders from Mars.
Oh, cool. What was the first one? Oh, Dark Side, and what was before that?
Alan Parsons' Pyramid.
Oh, I love Alan Parsons so much. I've got like 4 albums autographed downstairs. But Turn of the Friendly Card, Eve, I loved Eve. I loved iRobot's my favorite. Tales of Mystery and Imagination. Yeah, Pyramid. Pyramid was a great album. Follow up to iRobot. Love that stuff.
El Terrifico, awesome. The 25-year-old wife is back. Thank you. Very kind. Fraser J, is this the new Saturday Night Live? Let's do every night, haha.
Yeah.
And don't forget to hit that like button,
yes, please.
And subscribe to our channel if you're new on here. We're almost close to 100,000 subscribers.
We'll hit 100,000 subscribers this week, but also thank you so much, because we're trying to buy a computer that costs around $5,000. And through your donations, we've come up with a little over half the money.
So thank you. It's
people just donating money on PayPal, which is really nice. We're not there yet, and we're always thinking we've got to get it before this one breaks down.
Yeah, because this one's showing signs of
it's so slow now.
Yeah, but it's been definitely good to us.
Thank you, and if you want to donate, there's a link in the description of this video for PayPal. We appreciate it. And
thank you for your support.
Yeah, we've never asked for anything other than the fact just watch our videos in 8 years, but it's a turning point for us, and we love the fact that you're there.
Brandon Steele, good morning, John Shannon from
Brandon.
Sydney, Australia.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon. Right note, I played Crime of the Century for Your Pleasure in Dark Side of the Moon to death in high school.
Crime of the Century is such a great album. A Crisis What Crisis came out after that, and I think some people, for whatever reason, it didn't hit them as much, but I love the album Crisis What Crisis. You know, the two songs opening it like back to back, one goes into the other. I mean, I just loved it so much. And then even in the Quietest Moments, and then Breakfast in America, and Famous Last Words, not as much, but.
And For Green Frog, I kept a journal lyric book through the 70s.
Oh, wow.
They show my development as a writer and a person.
Yes, good for you. When I was asking Simon Phillips if he was going to write a book, he said, yeah. I said, did you keep notes? He said, I was meticulous with notes on sessions. And that's the stuff people care about, right? But it was strange when I played him Out Into the Daylight from Small Creek State and Mike Rutherford. He said, I don't remember this song specifically. So I'm playing him during the interview, him playing drums on Out Into the Daylight. And I stopped and I went, after I said, are you impressed? He says, yeah, that was kind of cool. I'm playing Simon Phillips for Simon Phillips. It was just like the coolest moment. I got to talk to him again.
El Terrifico High School, Marianne Faithfull, and Broken English.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the album. And everyone was saying, hey, she used to be with Jagger.
Bella says, then Close to the Edge trilogy, Selling England Now, Close to the Edge, Big Train Folklore, Jacob Collier.
Oh, Collier, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, John Anderson loves, he mentions, I said, who do you want to play with? He said, well, I said, do you want to play with Yes Again? He said, well, remember, he said, well, I don't know if I want to play with that band because they're not so good. Speaking of Yes, the current Yes. Then he said, well, I'd kind of like to play with Jacob Collier. He said, I'd like to play with him. He's not for everybody because I go on there and I'm going, he's really kind of a performance artist in the way that he really includes the audience, and the audience is a really big part of the show. And the first few listens, I went, it's a little hokey for me. And I'm going, he's just a fantastic musician, deserves everything he has. It's great.
James Hines II, Police Synchronicity,
Yes.
Journey Escape, Survivor, Vital Signs, Crowded House, Whitesnake, 38 Special, Special Forces, REM, Reckoning, Replacements, Pleased to Meet Me, and Too Many to Mention.
Wow, we have very similar tastes. I'm not an REM fan, but or Whitesnake. I wasn't a big Whitesnake fan, but there's a lot of stuff you mentioned in there that I just love. Yeah.
Craig Phillips, Boston's debut, Neil Young's Rust Never Sleeps, and Queen's New for the World. Nowadays, it's still those great classic rock bands.
Oh yeah, this is the world's great album by Queen. Well, we will rock you. We are the champions, right? And it was such a cool cover because that robot on the cover with them, and they're all dead in his hands, and there's blood dripping. It was I just loved it.
Brandon Steele, my top 3 albums of the moment are Queen, The Miracle, The Police, Zenyatta
Mandata.
Thank you. Godly and Cream and Freeze Frame.
Wow. I think it's Cream. It's Godly and Cream. I've always gotten those two mixed up. Godly and Cream. Yeah.
Dean Smith, Slayer, Show No Mercy, Megadeth, Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? And Anthrax, Fistful of Metal.
Oh, you like your metal, my friend.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, you never. When it comes to music, you buy something because you keep buying it because it moves you, it jiggles you. Life's tough, my God. What's the first lines in Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck? Life is difficult. I'm paraphrasing. Life is really tough. Once you really, really get that life is difficult and you really understand it, again, paraphrasing, then life's not so difficult anymore. We find things in our lives, this stuff. We find things in our lives that somehow make us feel good, and sometimes in spite of ourselves. And music is it's just so famous for doing that, taking like the ultimate respite, which jiggles us inside. Like, I'll say that again, jiggles. That just does that for us, and we feel a connection with someone who we might never meet. I've been lucky; I met a lot of them, but I didn't have to. They did their work in the 70s and 80s for me.
Tim Simmons, Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here, Yes, the Yes album, and Rush.
You have good taste. Well, what's good taste? I agree with you. I'm always careful with that because I can't say it enough. Everyone's right when it comes to music.
Jason Schultz, Sgt. Pepper's, Physical Graffiti, and Zeppelin 2.
Oh, interesting. For me, it's always Physical Graffiti and Zeppelin 4, and I was one of those few people who did like In Through the Outdoor, but it's not my top 3 Zeppelin albums or anything. Maybe 5, maybe number 5.
Anthony Ferguson, Kiss Alive, Kiss Destroyer, Kiss Love Gun was my top 3 LPs in high school.
We were just listening to Destroyer today in the car. Detroit Rock City.
Don Newman, Steely Dan, Can't Buy a Thrill, Marshall Tucker Band, A New Life, and ZZ Top, Tejaz.
I was talking to Elliot today, speaking of Can't Buy a Thrill, and we are going to do another interview because we talked about his guitar solo in Reeling in the Years. And he just emailed me today and said, John, I got to tell you, man, I really enjoyed talking to you. It was a lot of fun. Anytime you want to talk again, like we talked about during the interview, he says, I've shared it on all my social media platforms, the Reeling in the Year one. Tonight, just before we came on, we shared, and check it out, please. We shared I said, you worked with Yoko Ono after John died. What was that like? And he said, well, let me tell you how she broke the ice when we were all standing around not sure what was going to go on because they're listening to tracks of the dead guy, that we all love so much, John Lennon. So an interesting story about working with Yoko Ono. That's on the channel now. Our Patreon people are getting early access to all those videos. And I just put one up so far of where he talks about the only band he regrets not joining. So there you go.
James Hines, the second, Peter Gabriel, So.
Yes. Oh, I still listen to that album and love it. And now I've warmed up to his first two, which I didn't in the beginning, like Scratch. I kept going. There's something hard about it. There was something too raw about his first two albums. But then, I don't know, you mature musically and you get more hungry to find out what makes a musician tick, I guess.
Ben Molnar, love the song when it came out, Moonlight Feels Right by Starbuck. Just to add, the xylophone solo was one take in the studio.
Oh, wow. I'll ask Bruce that. But he asked me to be friends on Facebook. And he has a new album coming out, so I'm sure he'll talk to us because he has a new album, by the way. Still love this album so much. The autobiographical album about Elton John meeting Bernie Taupin. And we talked to Ray Williams. We interviewed Ray Williams, who introduced him.
Emil Music, Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures, Pixies, Doolittle, Depeche Mode, Violator.
Yeah, see, you're a little more experimental than I was. It took me a lot of years to get into Depeche Mode. I still don't love them, but I like them and I have a lot of appreciation for them.
Snowman, Hi Snowman.
Hi Snowman.
Styx, Paradise Theater, Yes Fragile, Doobie Brothers, Minute by Minute.
It was a great album. Depending on You, I love that song. I just love Minute by Minute. And I love One Step Closer, the one after that. I still liked it.
Gary Taylor, guess you won't be buying any of these classic reissues from the Mobile Fidelity anytime soon, are you?
They're too expensive. They're really expensive, and I don't have the making a living on YouTube is a tight budget. You got to trim the fat. It's a tight budget thing. I have my radio station, but Shannon worked really hard in her last job, and I said, please, you gotta relax for at least a year if you can. She likes going out there and she likes being with people. Imagine that. What's wrong with that?
Fraser J. John, how do you compare vinyl to digital?
Well, lately, believe it or not, just in the last, week, I've been plugging in my laptop to my stereo. I just have a Sony receiver and JBL, 80s JBL speakers. Excuse me. I've been playing a lot of Spotify directly into the old stereo, and it's a little muddier, but at your fingertips, you have the history of rock and roll. I have one hard drive. When I was a program director for a company called NewCap in Calgary, we were exchanging, all the program directors, a lot of us anyway, were exchanging music, and we all wanted to make sure we all had what the other person had. So I have a hard drive filled with pretty much the history of rock and roll and pop and everything in between. But I find Spotify just convenient, really convenient.
Bill Griffin, High School, Made in Japan, and Caress of Steel, Rocks.
Deep Purple. Yeah, Caress of Steel, Rush, yeah.
David Norris, in high school, Rush, and ZZ Top, Fandango.
Yeah, Fandango. I think my roommate had Fandango, Kendall.
And that's Rush 2112, bud.
Yeah.
Frank Janik, Frank Zappa, Roxy, and elsewhere, Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow, Gentle Giant, The Power, and The Glory.
Oh, I love Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow. If anyone does not know that album, for the longest time when people would say, what's your favorite Jeff Beck album? And I didn't know, maybe I knew 5 or 6. I remember I'd go to parties, and every time I'd ask someone, they'd go Blow by Blow. That's the one, man. Yeah, great album.
Jason Schultz, The Wall by Pink Floyd, Fragile by Yes.
Yeah, Fragile's such a good album. You bought me that for Christmas one year.
I did.
On CD. I didn't have it on CD. And she said, what album What is your? I don't want you to know which one it is, but which albums that you don't have on CD? Do you want on CD? She said, give me 5 and I'll buy you one of them because she had already bought me a drum kit that year. She bought me a set of drums. You know. So anyway, she bought me.
That was fun and loud.
Well, we lived in an apartment.
So it was hard.
I was taking drumming lessons and I was doing things like Sade, Sweetest Taboo.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
I love that kind of drumming, that kind of like jazz drumming, those kind of rudiments. Yeah. By the way, I'm trying to get an interview with Gary Malaber right now. He played with Paul Williams and played with Steve Miller Band. Take the Money and Run, Rockin' Me. I'm trying. I emailed him. I hope he gets back to me. If anyone knows him, tell him John Beaudin's a good guy. Check his email or his messenger on Facebook.
Ben Molnar, love Ian Thomas.
Oh my God. Yeah, Pilot, great tune. Painted Ladies and a Bottle of Wine. I've interviewed Mark Jordan and Murray McLaughlin, who he plays with all the time, but I've never interviewed Ian Thomas, but Steve Burgess, who's a friend of ours. Steve was my best friend when I met Shannon in 97. People always look at us together and they always assume that, oh, you must have just grabbed her and she's got vision problems or something. But we've been together for 25 years. But Steve did an interview with Ian Thomas, which was the highest rated, that one and Doug Bennett of Doug and the Slugs, Canadian bands, were the highest rated shows that we ever syndicated when I was syndicating across the country at the Cross Canada Report. Mainly because Steve's rapport with these guys. And Ian, Dave Thomas's brother, is an incredibly funny guy too.
Wade Capone, Dean Smith, Slayer, Rain and Blood, Metallica, Ride the Lightning, Anthrax, and Spreading the Disease.
Yeah, you're like a rocker, man.
Oh,
you
yeah.
like the metal. Heavy rock.
Etta Kevin, One, High School, Styx, Grand Illusion, The Knack.
Oh, the Knack, yeah, it's 79. Yeah. Do 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 do. Backman.
Back Marie Terry, Allman, Fillmore, Mountain Climbing, and Jay Gale's Full House.
Oh, Jay Giles.
Sorry, just
Love Stinks, remember?
Got you.
Remember? Yeah.
Roger King, Boston first album, Yes Fragile, MSB Stage Pass.
I brought it up because I knew it was going to come up a lot.
Chip Ryle, John, you have to research Robert Fleshman. He helped co-write Wheel in the Sky and
I will, yeah,
All
yeah.
for You, which is on Journey's box set.
I don't have to remember because I just go up to the earlier Journey albums. But yeah, I wasn't familiar with them. I can't say that I was.
Michael Jones, Empire.
Michael's been here before.
Yeah, Queen's Right, Close to the Edge,
Oh,
Contagious,
Queen's Right, yeah.
and Y&T.
Yeah, thank you.
Brennan Steele, Simon Phillips has just released a new album with Derek Sherinian.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure. What is it?
Sherinian.
Yeah, that's right.
Sherinian.
He's a friend of John Zapek.
Vortex.
He's not.
Okay.
Yeah. I just got familiar with him, but with Derek, I was offered an interview, and they said he's only doing phoners, and I'm going, I don't do phoners anymore. I can't. So, since I'm connected with Derek on Facebook, I might reach out to him and say, listen, man, can we just do it on? And I want to interview Simon Phillips again anyway.
I'm jumping ahead a bit.
Okay.
Mike Kaminsky, hello, John Shannon. Hi, Mike. Welcome.
Hi, Mike.
Elaine Cox, Don Henley's and the Innocents.
Oh, God. It's the first album I bought when I moved to Vancouver. First one.
One of mine for sure. Chicago 19, Glass Tiger, Diamond Sun.
Chicago 19 is a good album.
It is, but Henley's and the Innocents, 100%.
Oh, my
one
God.
of
There's
mine.
not a bad song on that album.
That was great.
If Dirt Were Dollars. Was that End of the Innocents or the one before? No, I think that's that one.
Transparent Media Truth, Journey, Infinity, REO, High, Infidelity, and Jackson Brown. Hold Out U2 Under a Blood Red Sky. The very short list.
Wow. Thank you. I appreciate you guys sharing these.
Kevin Campa. Now I listen most to Jason Chef, Here I Am, Beatles, Rubber Soul, and Robert Lamb's Suddenly in Passion, the last great Chicago album.
You know, have you guys look up Robert Lamb, Gimme, Gimme, Gimme in Australia. Jason is there. Triss is playing drums. I can't remember who else was on there. But oh my God, Jason shared it. Jason Sheft on his Facebook. And when I was interviewing him, I'm going, and I know the background singer is a lady from, I think she was from New Zealand or Australia. But man, that just rivals anything he's done with Chicago. Robert was just on his game. My God, look up Gimme, 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 Robert Lamb, Australia. It's just crazy. Write it down. It's just worth it. Like I said, Jason shared it. He said it was a great moment. You know, Jason has he doesn't want to do dirt on Chicago. And, you know, some guy said, oh, John, it's lame. Only one guy did it. He said, John, come on, you should have pressed him for more. I'm going, he doesn't do more. Everyone's asked him. You know what? I had a 3-hour interview with him. It went well. And if there was stuff, obviously he doesn't want to share it. And I'm going, I asked the question, they don't want to answer it. Unless, it's like, I always look at the Ann Nicole Smith story with the guy from Entertainment Tonight. I forget his name. He said, are you on drugs right now? She says, what do you mean? And he just let it go and kept going. And I went, no. That's when you dig a little deeper and say, come on, you can't tell me you're not on drugs right now. I always look at that as being, that's the marker of, come on, it's right in front of you. It's the pink elephant. If they, if John Anderson, when I said, come on, all the fans want you back in that band. You know that. He says, well, yeah, but do I want to be in that band? So I knew that I had to follow up. Sometimes you have to.
Thank you, Mike Kaminsky. He did a super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that.
Happy to
no
have
question?
Just
thanks.
Happy to have you on with us.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Rick May. Hi, Rick.
Hey,
Being
Rick.
a child of the 60s, mine would have to be the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper, The Who, Tommy, Bob Dylan, and Blonde on Blonde.
Oh, yeah. Big albums, all of them.
Melanie R. When I was 15, I listened to Fly Like an Eagle, Steve Miller, all the time.
Yeah. Well, I hope I can get Gary Malabar. I think I've tried to get him before. He was a really influential. I know I interview a lot of drummers because I am a drummer. But Chase is a real drummer. Chase is insanely good. You remember, he hadn't played drums in a month and a half. He goes down there. He says, I'm so rusty. And I'm going, oh my God, I can't believe you came up with that. These intricate fills that you made up. I mean, that's the reason he went off YouTube. I said, you can make tons of money on YouTube. He says, yeah, but everyone's copying everyone. No one's coming up with their own things. And he only follows people now that come up with their own beats, and he'll try to emulate those because those are different, and not everyone's heard them a million times.
Fraser J. John, what do you think? What do you think to the 7th one track on Toto's album?
What do you mean? I'm not. Oh, the track?
Yes.
Oh no, it's just silly. It's not on this. Is it on here? No, this is a remastered. I paid $28 for it, and it sounds like it is an outtake, right? It made it for the Japanese copy of it, and he just basically counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 1. You know, I'm going, oh my God. Because I so wanted to have other outtakes. Hi, Danica.
Okay, excuse me.
Our autistic wonder, she cuts her nails too short. If she has a hangnail, she'll pull it. And she does that. So there you go. Have fun, Shani.
Thank you.
So it's kind of a silly song. But I love listening to Joseph sing so much. I'm like a fanboy when we talk to Joseph. I just love Joseph Williams so much.
Hi, sorry, that's what you get for being live. You get to get all
do your stuff. Oh, look at this. We've only got 10 minutes left.
So Bill Griffin, Todd Rundgren, Utopia Rock.
Oh, we got another super chat.
Thank you. The Saline 786. Love the show. Love you guys. Let's donate to get the new computer.
Yeah. As well, people, if you want to donate, you can also donate. Look in the description. There's a link to PayPal. Thanks to you guys, we've got half of the 5,000 raised to build this computer. This is this was a thing where I'm going, that's a lot of money, to come up with to buy a computer. And I went, wow, what do we do? So that's why I have a few cohorts who do what I do on YouTube, and they said, well, why don't you just ask your fans, And we have Patreon too, where we're loading a lot of interviews this week, and there'll always be 2 or 3 segments of each interview which will never see the light of day, only on Patreon. Because you got to do stuff like that if you're going to do Patreon. You have no choice.
Sean Rush, Duran Rio, Foreigner, Head Games. Oh, Foreigner. Yes, Head Games. Great. And Golden Earring. Cut.
Yeah, Golden Earring. We're not a band that I was that into, but all my friends were. All my friends. So, you just hear it. You go to the parties. And then they're always trying to convince you. Say, oh, Golden Earring, you're your favorite band, man. Rainbow was like that for some of my friends. Come on, Rainbow.
Mike Kaminsky, Bruce Hornsby, first 2 albums.
Yes!
I knew you'd like that one. 2
of my favorite albums of the 80s were the first 2 albums, and one of my favorite albums of the 90s was, I hate when my brain does this. Anyway, let me look it up.
You'll think of it.
It'll come up. The one with Pat Metheny. Pat Metheny was on a few of them. Spirit Trail. No, not Spirit Trail. Spirit Trail? What's wrong with my brain? What the hell?
I don't know, but I'm with Elaine Cox here. Henley's Heart of the Matter.
Yeah.
My perfect song. That was a great song. Yeah. One of my favorites, too.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Rick May, don't forget to whack that like button.
Whack.
Thank you.
Rick, you're always whacking that like button. Harbor Lights.
Oh, there you go.
Spirit Trail came after that, which I love as well.
Fraser J. John, are you friends with Shannon Forrest? You can get an interview with Michael McDonald.
I'm not. I've never talked to Shannon.
Also, Dan Page, $2.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate your donation.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry if I missed it. I'm really far away here, so apologies here. Surfer Boy, hello, John and Shannon from Boston. A Saturday night. Yeah, it's kind of nice to sit back on it. I missed last night, so it's nice to be a part of it.
And in part of my ignorance, speaking of Boston, I didn't know Nantucket was an island. I had no idea until I started looking at the weather forecast in Boston, because we want to go to Boston and going, oh, how did I not know that? Anyway.
Ben,
and I like geography.
Ben Mulliner says, hey, John, you know of a band called Walkie Talkies? Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics?
No. Did they come out about 10, 15 years ago, maybe a little longer? If that's the band, I have heard them. But maybe not.
William Arnold. Hi, William. Journey, Escape, Foreigner 4, soundtrack to White Nights.
Oh, cool. I remember White Nights, yeah.
A Snowman. Just saw Doobie Brothers in late June. It was good to see Michael McDonald with the boys. Nice.
He'll always be an honorary member. Tom and Patrick always say the same thing. That he'll always be welcome in, and that's I never saw the Doobies with Tom. I saw the farewell tour with Michael McDonald.
Jason Close.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah, Steely Dan, Toto Thriller, Michael Jackson. You've got a good
Jason, and we'll try to get him back on. Jason was one of our writers and wrote a lot of those 5 musicians who died without fanfare. Shannon wrote some of them, but Jason wrote all the first ones. Great writer. If anyone's looking for a writer, contact me and I'll contact Jason. But he is an excellent writer, good for this kind of stuff. But he's done a lot of interviews, and he's done a lot of. We got another one. Got a lot of print, just a lot of print.
Thank you, Kevin Campion.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Remember, if you want to donate and you don't want it for our computer fund, you can just also, in the top of the description, there's a PayPal link, which it seems like everyone seems to prefer, or join our Patreon as well. You'll have early access to.
And we just started that Patreon.
Yeah, we just started. We're just loading it now. We're just getting it on. Like I said, every interview will have 2-3 tracks that we'll never put on YouTube. We'll only put on, they're on YouTube, but no one else can see them but Patreon members.
Moro C. Hello.
Hi.
Boston, Crime of the Century, Moving Pictures.
I should have brought Crime of the Centuries. Moving Pictures is a great album by Rush, yes.
Dan Page. Hi, guys. It's from Dan Page of Buffalo.
Hey, Dan.
The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway
Oh,
now.
double
Porcupine
album.
Tree Closure. Continuum.
What's the name of the remember the engineer? He got me into Porcupine Tree from The Breeze. Remember? He was a really, really good-looking guy. He looked like a model. He's a very laid-back guy, though. Talked in monotone. But he was such a nice man. It was just, he got me into a lot. Spock's Beard and, yeah, Porcupine Tree.
Rick May says 3 albums I listen to now. Jeff Beck, Live at Ronnie Scott, Steely Dan, The Royal Scam, and Warren Zevon, The Wind.
Yeah. I like The Envoy. Excitable Boy. Excitable Boy. What a song that was. The album's great. But the song, like you're talking about, digging up a person, he kills a person, kills her, then wants to dig her up and play with her bones. I'm going, what kind of mind? But he had that kind of dark humor that, poor pitiful me. That's him. You know, Linda Ronstadt. Yeah.
Brandon Steele, what are your plans once you reach 100,000? What's your plans?
I'm going to chase Shannon all over the house. Just chasing her. I'm just going to chase and chase. And sooner or later, I'll get tired and fall over and die.
I think for you hitting I think for you hitting 100,000 is huge because you've really done it organically. You've put just so many endless hours into this.
Yeah. We were going to advertise and we started doing a little bit, but it ended up going on. Oh, it wasn't accepted. And then I went, maybe there's a reason that we're not being able to, if something goes wrong every single time. And then the computer problem came up and I went, well, I have to save this money for the computer. So people who are giving us super chats and because you know how it is, especially in this day and age where times are difficult, when something happens, you go, oh, please nothing break down this month. Please, And we've been lucky.
Jason Schultz, have a great evening from Riverside, California.
Hey, thank you very much for
BDS Foreigner, Head Games Foreigner 4, Survival, Vital Signs.
Oh, Survivor, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Kim Trickle, when are you putting David Page interview on Patreon?
It's coming on Tuesday. It'll all be on. The whole David Page interview will be on.
Great. Lynn Turman.
It's all done, by the way. Everything's done. We've totally done it. They just wanted us to do it in August, and when David comes back from the tour, I don't know if he's still with them. I'm getting another interview, so I never like to count chickens, but the gentleman who handles Toto said that, yeah, we could probably get you some more time.
Lynn Turman, hey guys, ever get into the 80s root rock era, the Beaudins, Lone Justice, Smithereens, etc.?
Oh yeah, well, I just interviewed what's his name from the Beaudins, the last remaining member. I had a great interview with him. Just a great. He's sort of a serious guy, but I really enjoyed it. That week I did like 7 interviews. It's all like a blur to me. I couldn't even tell you specific stuff that he said because I was just brain dead after that week. It was too much.
Kitten Care, so many great albums. Selling England by the Pound, yeah. Genesis, X by Klaus Schultz.
Klaus Schultz, yeah.
Close to the Edge, yes, it changes all the time. Though.
It does. That's why I asked. It does. We've got to go. We've got to wind her because our daughter now at 10 o'clock every night. Our autistic daughter and Shannon.
We do it. We play Scrabble.
They play Scrabble.
So she's actually getting really. This is something I wasn't sure that she'd really get to like, but she likes it a lot. So at 10 o'clock, we play Scrabble together for like half an hour. So she's spot on with time. So she lets me know, oh, it's time to go do that. So,
thank you.
That being said,
thank you very much. And remember, if you want to support the channel, if you can, times are hard. I understand that. There's a PayPal link in the description. For our new computer, we're trying to raise money for our new computer, or else you can join our Patreon. All of David Page will be up this week. It's not coming on for another 2 weeks, but it'll all be on our Patreon account. But thank you.
But regardless, we're just happy to have you here with us, and I always look forward to coming on.
Yeah, thanks. If something happens tomorrow, we'll be back on. See you guys. Take care of yourself.
Bye. Thank you.